So I wanted to jump on. Hopefully I'm not too shaky for y'all. My friend had a really good question. She's a designer, and I thought that it was a really good question, so I wanted to talk about it with y'all. So in regards to I was reading something. So in regards to her question, she asks, how do you stay motivated during times of uncertainty, essentially? So I thought that was a really good question. And the context around the question was like, you know, posting online, making videos, you know, posting to, you know, potentially get customers, and not being able to see that within a short window of time, and then getting discouraged about it. So I prefaced and started off by saying, because first things first, when it comes to being an entrepreneur, bills and stuff can become a really a motivator for you to stay encouraged, at least for me. But then I get to a place like, you're gonna get it when you get it. You know, it is what it is. Like, I've been an entrepreneur long enough to know, like, entrepreneurship does this sometimes. It can do this, it can do this, and then it can go back up even more. But sometimes bills is enough to keep you motivated, and when it's not, you do have to have a little bit of a passion for what it is that you do to push you through those times where it's not necessarily a day where you're getting sales, or a week where you're getting sales, or potentially even a month when you're getting sales. If it's a month and you're not getting sales, you're missing strategy. Hold on, let me turn my AC on another way just in case it was blowing into the mic, so you should be able to hear me better. Let me know if that made any difference. I just changed something. When you are, it's been a month when you've not received any sales, you lack strategy, and that is super important to have in business. But more importantly, you lack the ability to post without the judgment of only getting one like, not getting any likes, not getting any comments, not getting any engagement. And we live in such a microwave, popcorn, instant gratification society that it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking that, oh, this is, you know, not gonna work for me because, you know, I ain't getting no sales and I ain't getting no likes. You literally have to push past that and keep moving forward. Like, you got to. With me, if you go look on my post, I have some posts that got like 40 likes, 21 likes, 30 likes. I don't care. I truly, it's just not something that makes me stop, because I know for a fact I have gone viral before, and you don't typically go viral within the same day. Virality typically takes a couple weeks. So that should put that into perspective, number one, for you. Virality is not always what it's cracked up to be. At the end of the day, you can go viral and still get 0 sales. So your messaging, your offers, your content, everything needs to align with what it is what's your goal for that month, that quarter, that week. That needs to align. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, okay, number one was, who give a damn about the bills? You gotta let that go so that you can focus on creating. Okay, because sometimes you need to be, well, not even sometimes, you want to be in a flow state. Okay, flow state is essentially like, you know, you just being able to create, just creating. Okay, good, bad, or ugly, it does not matter. Push the content out. 9 times out of 10 when it comes to content, I have way more strategy that I'll briefly touch over. But like, when it comes to content and strategy, when it comes to my customer base, I typically, well, you know, we're gonna go into it. What I was telling my girl, I ain't gonna mention her name. Hey, girl. So when it comes to strategy and content, whatever the product is that you are selling, of course you need to talk to that person. You know, if you're talking to everybody at once, you're not gonna get anywhere. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, You want to talk to their pain points. And I know y'all have heard this over and over again, but if you are ever confused or lost on any type of content, or you don't know what you can post, or what you want to post, or I'm not sure what to post, talk to people's pain points. Okay? So for me, with dresses, I know for a fact, people, when they shopping online, they don't know if their stuff is going to fit. So I make content about that. Oh, you can get a measurement call, Like I talk about things like that to expel some of the reasons why people would not go ahead and click purchase on my website. I also talked about how the amount of time that it takes for a person to convert. This is something else that I was, discussing with her, and I actually made a video on this. I never posted it. I'm gonna post it in the group, but I did make a video on conversions, and I showed you. I took you to the back end of my Shopify store, and I showed you, like, it took this person 20 days to convert. It took this person So how can we close that gap? So content like that for you to close that gap is also a thing. So that's something that I have to, fully expound upon on my business. Now, another thing, when it comes to your customers, a lot of people hear customer journey. What's your customer journey? Look at your customer journey. And maybe you have not heard of this. This might be new to you. It was new to me at one point in time, and it was a game changing. But when you lay out the customer journey, and I have a full Canva document where I laid out my sales process, my customer journey, and weighed the pain points of that, the solutions to that, and basically the content that I can do around that. Like, I am such a nerd, y'all, that I get deep. But I mapped that out on 2 Canva documents. The first document is just a full, like, one big document, and then I ended up creating Instagram sized documents so that I could pages for each of the phases, so that I could create content based off of those individual phases. So when you look into your customer journey, and I need to put that, I'm gonna put that in the group. Maybe I'll make it a digital product for people to purchase separately, but if you are in my monthly membership group, I'm more than likely gonna just go ahead and drop that in there. So when it comes to your customer journey, my friend, when I was explaining this to her, she like, oh yeah, this makes sense. I know of it, but I never really thought about it like that. But when it comes to your customer journey, you cannot think so like surface based to where, oh, I posted this and it didn't sell after 3 days. You can't think like that. You have to understand that people, typically, if you're not an entrepreneur, you get paid every 2 weeks. You get paid every 2 weeks. So if you only post for 3 days about your product that you haven't even really gave us enough damn content in the first place, because Instagram doesn't show your content to all your followers, it's only going to show it to about 10% any damn way. So you gotta post and show up, and keep posting and showing up like nobody sees it, and stop thinking that people are annoyed with you posting about your product. I told my friend, either they're gonna follow you, they're gonna like the post, or they're gonna unfollow you. But at the end of the day, you're gonna at least get a result. You're gonna get a result, or they may watch you, or they may purchase. That's five results. So if you feel like you're annoying someone, they'll just unfollow you. But 9 times out of 10, they ain't even seen the damn post. And I know y'all have gotten this before, where somebody was like, yeah, I was looking for you, I couldn't find you for a little minute. Yeah, because number one, your ass don't show up consistently enough. Number two, Instagram is not showing your content. Okay? So I don't mean to cuss, forgive me, but like, come on, let's be serious. If we're gonna be real, we're gonna be real. So back to the customer journey. When it comes to that, you should never have an issue on what to post. Period, point blank. So when it comes to the phases, there is a interest phase, awareness phase, interest phase, consideration phase, and then like purchase. It's like 4 or 5, depending on, what you look at, who you look through, But within those phases, you should be able to talk to that person based off of where they are. If somebody is just becoming aware of your brand, the content where it's talking about add to cart and go check out and go grab your dress, they're not about to purchase almost immediately unless you got a $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, a product that's like $100 that's really not, you know, something that we spend lunch money on, $20. Like, people, unless it's that cheap, people are not going to automatically buy, okay? Especially women when it comes to clothing. Men, they are very much more black and white. This product solved the problem. You speaking to my pain point, let me check out. With women, we gotta think about every which way before we place the order. We impulse buy sometimes, but when you have a $4, $5, $6, $7, $1,000, $1,200, $2,000 product, most times people do have to take a little bit of time to stop and think on it, because it's not just, you know, you're not buying a piece of bubble gum. You're buying a product that took you hours of work, maybe even weeks of work to purchase. So you cannot think so short term. You can't. If you do, you just go ahead and get out the business. Just go ahead and just call it a day, because it's not for you. It's just not. So back to customer journey. I need to do a whole separate video on it. But just briefing over it. At the end of the day, you gotta understand where your people are. Got to. Each phase needs to have some form of content attached to it that is talking to that person during that phase. If I'm interested in your brand, if I'm in the consideration phase, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be looking at reasons why I don't want to purchase with you. Okay? It's going to be, oh, I left my food. I'm crying, y'all, because I'm about to go to this office and I'm tired of spending money on DoorDash. But anyways, maybe I should stop and get me some from Starbucks. Ew, I hate spending money. I don't really want that. I'm not going to get that. Oh well, I'll just start. But anyways, when someone is considering purchasing from you, they're looking at your competitors. They are trying to decide who's going to be either cheaper, who has the best qualities, because sometimes people buy the cheaper stuff and then they come back. I literally just had a customer, I told y'all about a girl who purchased like 2 dresses from me. It was $1,300. And how I ended up, I made a post about this, how I ended up, she was asking questions. So I ended up just calling her on Instagram so we could just talk, and I was able to close the gap between purchase, consideration, and da-da-da. Like, sometimes you just gotta close the gap. You know, it be small little questions that your customers have for you. That's why I don't never close my DMs. Y'all who be so bougie about no DM, no DM, no DMs. I get that, but like, no. Hire a virtual assistant. Hire an assistant to handle it if you cannot handle it. If you have a hectic workload or customer service is not your, you know, number one thing to do, just hire. Hold on, let me turn off my Bluetooth. Hopefully y'all been able to hear me this whole time. I didn't realize it was connected to my car. But yes, so I ended up closing the gap faster just by speaking to that customer and just kind of understanding, you know, what she wanted. But I said all of that to say, these people have money. She purchased another dress. She purchased a dress off AliExpress. She sent me a video like, hey, this dress is all wrong. The mesh is wrong. She thought it was my dress. The mesh is wrong. The dress don't fit. Y'all, it was horrible. She spent almost $200 on this dress, and it looked nothing like mine. And when I had seen it, I jumped up, y'all. I was taking me a nap. I jumped up so quick. I pulled up their tracking number. I said, your dress haven't even arrived yet. So that's not my product, and I know my product. The mesh is all wrong. Da, da, da. So I said that to say people will look for the cheaper option. You don't need to be the cheaper option. I'm not telling you to be the cheaper option, because they will find out eventually that, like, because you're buying it cheaper, that shortcut is gonna end up costing you. So, in which it did, it costed her, and she wanted to return it. And realistically, like, the money that she paid for it, she probably gonna end up paying that in return shipping, because you know, shipping stuff from China or to China is not cheap, and you have to pay customs fees. And I know because I to have a good quality product. That's why I'm recording some videos of me like showing you how I sew stuff, because I'm not knocking nobody, because I started from the bottom as well, but like some of the execution on the inside of y'all garments don't be giving the prices that y'all be charging people. But that's another topic for another conversation. I've been there, done that, and I'm making videos to help close the gap in that instance as well, because you want to provide quality service. So that is that. Please don't be discouraged if you posting a product and you don't immediately get a sale. Okay, you gotta have strategy. Another thing I told my friend back when I first started, I would have like books would be wide open, ain't got a damn customer in there, okay, nothing, but I'd be like, I got 3 spots left, wow, oh my god. And then people would start purchasing, people would start booking consultations or putting down money. And then, I would show that as social proof. I would post it on social media and show it as social proof. You need social proof. No, don't nobody want to buy. Don't nobody want to be the first person to buy something. Okay? So I would post the screenshots of like people's cash apps and stuff like that. And that would make other people like, oh, okay, well, let me go ahead and it builds trust. It's social proof. They not the only person. So that is a tactic that you can use to, close more deals, book more clients. So it is a little bit of strategy to this. I don't just post willy-nilly, and I don't even post as much as I used to anymore. But back in the day when I was getting it out the mud, I done got a little bit too comfortable, and I need to act like I'm getting it out the mud again. But back in the day, like, I just would post, and I always had those tactics and strategies in mind. And I guess it's not as common as as for everybody, because most people don't know it. But my mentee, she has saw me do it, and she does it now, and it's like, I'll be like, I'm rooting for you, because I know those tactics, and it just brings me back to when I first started. And she's doing amazing. This girl's doing over 100,000. Let me be very clear. She's doing over 100,000. Okay, she has been learning from me. So yes, it is strategy, but it's also getting into the flow state of being. Don't be just judgmental of yourself. These Gen Zers are passing us millennials and whatever other age, whatever other bracket or group you in, they're passing us by because they do not have the fear that we have. They don't have the perfectionism that we have. These kids are posting looking raggedy and whatever else, and they're just, it's not even a thing to them. They haven't experienced enough life, and this is kind of like sucky to say, but you ain't experienced enough life for life to make you a little bit more like or you weren't raised in a household that made you a perfectionist. You had to do everything right. You had to do X, Y, and Z, or so they don't have those boundaries, those invisible boundaries that a lot of us have. So just know that at the end of the day, that is just bull crap. And at the end of the day, you are in a space where you are sitting on millions of dollars, but you keep playing with it. You keep playing with yourself. You keep finding excuses on why you need to post, or you're making the content the excuse. Like I just said, just not having the gall or the balls to just like post it raggedy, pretty, ugly. You just scared. You're making that the thing that holds you up in business. Like, and that's absolutely insane. It's insane when it's kids that's 21 making millions of dollars. It's insane. Kids younger than that, 18, 10, they just don't have anything holding them back. So I encourage you to get some strategy. Join my monthly membership if you're not in there. I will put the link somewhere. We currently, at the time of this video, it's a wait list, but who knows when you'll watch it again. This is social media. You may not see this for a year. You may not see it for 2 years. If you do, great, but like, you don't know with social media. So check some links. If you don't see any links, just DM me and I will send you either the wait list, or by then, who knows, it may be even open by the time you get there. It's a monthly membership. Other than that, as far as my customer journey map and my specific like strategy on like what I do with my content and stuff like that, I'm gonna have a link for that as well somewhere. If not, just get on the wait list, and I'm gonna make sure that I notify my waitlist people about it. Okay, so that's gonna be something separate. But other than that, I just got to work. I have umpteen dresses to do. Umpteen. Okay, I'm fighting for my life, and yeah, so I need to finish that so that I can get my butt on a plane and go somewhere. Y'all will see soon. I'm excited. All right, y'all, have a good day. I'll talk to y'all soon.